All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legend free-to-play mystery shards only run. I figured out that I have to say that every time in every video, just so everyone actually understands that I'm using crap heroes because that's the point of this run through. All right, so today, though, is a different little video. I mean, it's not really different. I'm sure you've seen these before, but figured I'd make one. It's a little bit of a silver management video and kind of how to get silver, save your silver, not waste silver, and basically get your gear to 16 like I have. Yeah, I mean, basically, the main thing here is to not waste silver, I would say. It's really the main thing that you should take away from this. Wasting silver is probably the number one reason that a lot of people will fail at getting their gear to level 16. The other thing is that a lot of people will tell you not to get gear to 16. I'm sort of against that a little bit. And I'm actually very against that because for some reason, here's the thing. All right? In the short term, having your gear to 16, even if it's a lower tier gear set like 4-star, still advances your heroes probably more than anything else. Being able to have a 16 set on your Kale and your starter heroes, even if it's 4-star, is enough to get you by. And then once you start farming pieces that you can kind of switch in and out, you'll get those to 16 and then take the 4-stars and put them onto your off heroes. So those 4-star pieces never actually waste your money. You're just pushing them onto your lower tier heroes. So at least that way you don't have to worry about leveling up 16 gear to put onto new heroes that you get. You can kind of just start switching gear out. And then it only costs you 50, actually 20 to 100K per piece to switch onto someone else rather than, 3 or 4 million to get something to 16. But either way, let's just show you where I'm at and kind of what I mean by what I just said. And then we'll show you some of the ways that I just farmed silver and we'll go from there. Now we will need to go in here. I didn't want to do this, but we're going to do it for this video. We're going to collect this experience thing. I was actually farming masteries, but you know what? This is what we're doing. So here we go. Champions. Now, funny enough, I just went over this in a progression video, so I'm going to kind of go over it again just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now, I have gear that all my heroes are level 16. All right, they all have level 16 gear on every slot. Now, what I do, as you can see, this is my Frozen Banshee. She has a 4-star glove that she has had on her person since I built her in the beginning. Literally from the time that I started Nightmare Clan Boss till now. She's had this exact same glove on, and she has gotten me through all the content I needed her for. She's great. Now, why I literally just upgraded her gear. So we've got this piece. All right, so now let's go to perceptions just so I can kind of go over what I'm talking about. Where are you, perception? Perception. Here we go, perception. All right. So this is the piece she had on her before. Now, this is just the upgraded version. You can do this for 4-star gear. Also, I had a 5-star chest on her. I switched it out for the 6 because I want more defense on her. All right, this gave her a little bit more defense and a little bit more accuracy. I'm sorry, not a little more accuracy. It's actually less accuracy because I actually kind of had too much. So what I did was I switched it out. Now, this piece here is now something that I can put onto another hero. Let's just say I just got Grave Chill. Let's say, I have her now, but let's just say I just got her. Now I can just equip her with this. And that saves me somewhere between $1 and $4 million in leveling because I now have a piece that I can throw on. So in the beginning, this might seem daunting because you're not going to have a lot of silver. But once you start getting to like a few months in, you're going to start to notice that you don't have to destroy a lot of your gear. I only destroyed gear that was 3-star in the beginning. Like when I pulled it off somebody, I'm not wasting my silver. I just destroy it. The other thing is a lot of times in the beginning, you're going to throw gear on somebody that's garbage. I have a ton of heroes in my vault right now that aren't 50, the level 40s. I have a ton of them that have garbage gear on them. I haven't removed it or touched it yet because I'm not building them yet. And I stopped putting gear on any new heroes that I get unless I'm really going to use them or I feel like they might help me in the later run or if they're good in faction wars. So I don't really waste time putting gear on them anymore until I get them to 50. That's kind of where it's at. And I only put gear on heroes that I have sets for that will actually work. Like I'm not going to just throw random gear on a hero because they're essentially useless now. In the beginning, you are going to do that and you are going to throw a bunch of random gear on it, you're probably just going to get it to level 8 and then forget that the heroes existed. And that's just because you want them to be at least useful in faction wars from stage like 1 to, we'll say, 10. All right. And that's all you need is a level 40 with like a level 8 gear, and you can actually beat most of those. Some of them you might need a level 50. It just depends on the faction crypt. Some of them are a little bit harder than others. So by doing that, you're saving silver in the long run while still progressing your team in the short term. So now this one I'll be building to 16 and then replacing this. And then this glove and this chest that are 16 will now go on to my next level 50 or my next level 60. Like, I can keep these for a while. I also have up here, we have the attack set, which I just pulled off of a Conqueror. So now I have an attack piece here that I can put on a hero. I could put this and this with somebody too. So now I have a few sets that I'm slowly starting to build. I didn't really keep a lot of my 16 gear for a while because they were like I said, like 3-star and sometimes 4 that just didn't have good stats. Don't remove gear that's garbage. If you have flat stats on like gloves or chest and you're on a hero for a while and then you go to replace them, even if it's 6-star, just don't take it off. Don't just destroy it. It's not worth it. You want percentages for the long run. So just make sure you're using mostly percentages. That's the other thing you can do in here. I go through my gear once in a while, okay? Like I'll just click on everything real quick just to see mainly the bottom 3. I don't really care so much about the shields and stuff. If I start getting a lot of shields, armor, not armor, helmets or weapons, I'll just go through them real quick and see which ones are good. Like if I have these 3, if they're all pretty good, I'll keep them. Like this one's HP, accuracy, and crit rate. Speed would probably be a better option for this. This one, same thing. So technically speaking, I could sell these right now and it really wouldn't affect me too much because we want the speed and the resist. Those are like really good stats. So we want to do that. Now, accuracy would also be good because this is an accuracy set. So more than likely, you're going to want to have more accuracy because that's why you're putting it on your hero to begin with. And then whichever stat you want to match. So if this, like right here, if this was HP and crit, do I want to get rid of it? Possibly not, because you know what? I might have an HP hero that has something that needs accuracy, and this would give me crit and HP. So this could be a piece that you want to keep. I'm going to keep it right now, just to be clear. Now, the other thing you can do is sometimes you'll have stuff like, let's see, let me find something. This has accuracy and speed. Now, let's just say you need accuracy for somebody and you have a sleep set. Now, if you're trying to roll really high accuracy, what you would do is you would rank this up to 8, just like that. And since it landed in accuracy, that's actually good. 20 accuracy on a piece isn't terrible. You'd rather have a two on it to get more, but the speed is a good substat. So having that extra little bit of speed also is good, depending on the hero you put it on, obviously. So now, if you have a piece like this and it was like attack and defense, all right, and you needed the attack and it all went in defense, then maybe you want to sell it and just get rid of it and not go past 8. All right, really, this is up to you. You could say, oh, maybe I'll go to 12 and hope for the best if it's like a purple or a legendary version. You may get another roll in something that you like, but something like this, you're basically just risking it, hoping for another stat, which is fine because these stats are both very good. Like if I have a sleep set put together now that it's all like this, yeah, I'm happy because I've got the stats I need. But if it rolls into the wrong stat, you probably want to get rid of it and not keep it because that'll give you some more silver. I actually just did this before the video, which is annoying because I could have gone through most of my gear and showed you. I actually sold it and got about 1.5 million silver just from throwing away some old stuff. And to be honest, if I really went crazy in here and got rid of everything that I don't need, because I know there's some stuff in here that I'm kind of just hoarding, just go through it every once in a while. I usually try to keep my inventory down to about 300. All right. I try to keep a good group of maybe 2 sets of every set at minimum. The ones that I have a lot of, Provoke, I didn't really keep because I don't really ever need it. I have heroes that do Provoke, so it hasn't come up. Is it worth keeping Provoke? Yes. There's definitely some bosses where you could kind of manipulate your heroes using a Provoke set. So the fact that I've been selling them is probably not that good. I'm starting to now keep them. Same thing with Retaliation. I don't really use it very often, but these are sets that I'm going to probably start saving when I get them. But you would at least like to keep at least 1 set. So now this isn't a great set. I just got this apparently from my other video. Not an amazing set. It's not terrible. There's crit damage glove. So but the problem is all these, I mean, there's crit rate on the shield, so that's okay. So like in this set, if you were going to use this set with a crit damage glove, you would want your rolls to be in crit rate on all your other pieces. So what I would do is go in here, same thing. You would go in and do +8 and hope you land in crit. Now you don't. I did not. Now it did land in speed, so it's not a terrible piece. You could just say, screw it. It has crit, which is good enough. You could go to 12 and hope for the best, or you could just try to farm more of this gear that has crit rate, or hopefully just find a crit rate glove. I mean, whatever works. And then you have your set. You see what I mean? So that's why you're going to see a lot of my pieces are going to be level 8, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm rolling gear that I feel might be good later on. Like this rolled into accuracy, which I was actually hoping for crit rate, but I'm not going to be mad at accuracy because this is a poison set. More than likely, I'll be using it on a poison hero to get extra poisons and just kind of poison, 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 poison. So having 25 accuracy on here is not a bad thing, but that would mean I'd need crit rate on all my other gear. So this piece would probably be useless as of right now unless I went to 12. This piece is really good, but unfortunately, it doesn't really work with this, but you could use this piece because this has 11% crit rate. And if you get, say, 10 crit rate on each piece, then you're basically at a good crit rate, all right? So this is just kind of some kind of like a way of managing your gear to make sure you're not leveling things to 16 that aren't good and aren't going to help your heroes. Flat stats are never good. I almost always get rid of them. Like this one right here I've had forever. It was actually on my War Maiden for a while, but because I practice what I preach, we don't want it anymore. So we're selling it. 42K, gone. So we're getting rid of it. Flat stats are not good, all right? Only like this one, even though it's defense on an attack hero, you never know. This could be something that could be a weird hybrid hero that needs defense and attack, and this could work out for you. So, but just know that more than likely your heroes are going to have crit rate or crit damage on the glove. I have a few heroes that is not the case. It just depends on if you can get those stats on other pieces, okay? But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing here. Everything here is just getting leveled. This I'll probably never use, so I will probably sell it. But like these kinds of things, most likely you're going to want speed on your boots. It's almost every hero. There's very few heroes where attack would be my option. Actually, I can't think of anyone where attack would be my option. Crit damage would be my option, or crit rate, but crit damage is what you want. If you can get your crit damage up to a ton, then great. And then whatever your side stat is. So this would more than likely on an attacker be speed, because you want them to attack more, not have higher attack. You want them to have higher crit damage. So this is a piece I would more than likely get rid of. The other thing is a lot of times, like kind of like that other one, that one off that I was talking about, like if I have an HP set and I have an attack boot, there's really very few heroes where that's going to help you. So more than likely I would get rid of it, but sometimes you're going to want to keep it if it's like a limited set. Now, the other thing here, let's see, what sets do we got here? Divine Speed. This one I actually just got the speed boot, but we got a defense glove. So this would be more for like a healer, someone like Apothecary. Luckily, it did roll with crit rate on the glove, so that's good. We got 10% there, so now we can probably pick up a little bit of crit rate even on this piece, possibly, and then some other pieces where we can get our crit rate up to like 60, 70, 80 without having to have a crit rate glove. And then we have extra defense on our hero, and then boom, you've got a good set for your heroes. So I think I've said enough about gear and how to do all this. Saving stuff doesn't help you. If you have like 1,000 pieces of gear, unless you've been playing for 4 years, more than likely, none of that's going to help you. Go through your gear and just roll some of it during a event, kind of like today. There's an artifact enhancement event. If I had a ton of silver right now and I didn't just waste it on getting my heroes to 16, then yeah, I'd be doing this probably right now, because then you can sell it, make some silver back, and get rewards from the artifact enhancement. All right, so that's basically how managing gear kind of works. And as you can see, I'm still using some heroes with 4-star pieces of gear. See, 4-star boot, and I have a couple, not as many as I used to, I'll tell you that much. But I definitely do have some random 4-star pieces of gear on here. But all this gear is going to move on to another hero once I find something better. That's it. All this gear will go to someone else as I get legendary 6-star pieces. All right. So don't think that every piece of gear, here you go, I got a 4-star boot that I'm using on her. That's attack percent. This is one of those one-offs because I needed her speed to be lower so that she was speed tuned, which has been this way since the beginning, which is funny that it's still there. But yeah, once I get my speed tune, I would consider using this set, honestly. I don't see why not. But there you go. That's gear. Now, how do you make silver? Well, we all know the main one, and that's right here in brutal. Once you get to this point, if you're not in brutal, just do this on normal or do it on hard, wherever you are. You go to stage 12, you go to stage 3, you hit battle, you put your food in, you get a campaign farmer, and you do that. This is literally the number one way to make silver. For me, you could run Spider. I know that accessories have a very high rate for selling. You do have to kind of do that on a higher level. I think if you do stage 10, I don't know what the ratio is, but you could do Spider 10 and just run it for a while and then sell everything you get. That's an option. The only downside to that is you're more than likely going to get some stuff that you need, in which case you're not going to sell it, you're not going to make silver, which is going to back you up. In here, you're just getting shields, and you just keep doing this to level up your food heroes until you get a 6-star. And just doing, all right, so if you picked one hero and you did this to get one hero to 6-star, you're going to have a good couple of million by the time you're done with that. I think usually if I do this all week, like if I just spend all of my energy on this, that's kind of how I was able to save up about 12 million. And then I spent it all on getting Visix to 16 with her gear. And I spent it on getting a few other extra pieces, kind of like the ones you just saw for Frozen Banshee and for Conqueror. I spent all that money on there. So you will blow through silver very fast. Like if you're lucky, you might be able to finish out an entire set for 10 million. That's if you're lucky. I've had it happen where I've only spent like 400K on one piece. It does happen, but you can't expect it to happen all the time. It's more the exception, not the rule. So just know that saving up a bunch of silver and not leveling up crap gear that you're not going to use by checking them first and doing that like that +8 deal, that's a good way to not spend silver on gear that didn't roll the way you wanted. So what you'll do is you'll just do this the whole time. All right. Just keep running this all day. I mean, I've done this with hundreds of heroes. I did a video if you want to watch about, campaign farming and building your next 6-star. You can watch that one and you'll see how much I put into this. This is honestly what you're seeing right here is basically what I do almost nonstop. I almost never farm dungeons. You can do it. You'll still make silver if you're selling off the garbage gear. Just know that you kind of blow through energy pretty quickly in there. It just depends on how much energy you have and how much you're willing to spend. I have found that for the bang for my buck, doing this for 11,000 per run, it's quicker and I can get my silver faster. I don't have to be online unless you're going to run dungeons overnight. Like if you run dungeons overnight, yeah, you could do it. But if you don't have good teams for Spider, you don't have good teams for the dungeons, then guess what? That's a waste. So I would farm in here mainly because you get the most experience, especially with the EXP boost. That's why I added it on. You want this, all right? And you're just going to keep doing this. I've had weeks where this is the only thing I did. It's unfortunately just part of life. You know what I mean? You're gonna blow through a bunch of energy during the day, but this is where you're gonna get most of your silver. Just keep doing this until you have all your level 20s. I'm just gonna do these few for the video, but because whatever, and I can upgrade them, and then you upgrade them, and then you do it again, and then you upgrade them, and then you do it again. That's basically it. This is like 95% of Raid Shadow Legends in the beginning of the game. Is what you're seeing right here. Just leveling up food and getting yourself your 6-star heroes. That's it. If you can't save up silver, you can't get your gear to level 16. So there you go. Boom, boom, and more boom. All right, so there you go. We've got our heroes max. We've got some stuff. Now, the good news here is that once you do that, now you can upgrade these heroes and start leveling them again. That's the first thing. So we go in here, we upgrade these guys, 1, 2. You get these guys for food, which is kind of nice. I forgot we got a bunch of chickens from clan versus clan. So that's nice. There we go. Use these guys as food. I also have the 2-star commons that I use that I upgrade also while fighting there. Like I said, you can watch my next 6-star video, but here you go. I got some of these that I leveled. So I use them. And there you go. Now you can go back in and just level these. And then you can use all these chickens and stuff that I have to level them to 4-star. And then eventually you'll have a 6-star if you keep doing it. Get out of there. Now, another way to make money is the Forge. Now, if you're not doing faction wars, No, we don't want champions. Here we go. Battle. If you're not doing faction wars every day, see? 0 keys. All right. This is what we want. 0 keys on every single day that you do this. Fight the highest level you got and do it. All right. Other thing you're going to want to do is Doom Tower if you are in it. If you're not at Doom Tower yet, then once you get here, say you beat the first boss, just come in here and farm this guy. I literally just did this morning, so I will be farming these. All right. But here, we'll just kill this guy real quick while I talk. Why are you farming these? Why would you want to farm Doom Tower boss on stage 1 if you have a low level account? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you need the materials that you get from these fights, which is why I'm actually doing this one fight. I'm not going to do all of them on stream. We're just going to show one little stupid fight because why not? Because I like watching Griffin die. That's why. Because he's a jerk bag and I hate fighting him on the max stage. But he's really easy on the first stage, and it makes me happy to watch him die in under half a minute or in half a minute. There you go. All right, see, dead. All right, now the reason we do this is because you get these. All right, you get pieces. Even if you're on low level, these pieces are good. All right, even if you have gear that's 5 or 6 star, these pieces are good. Why are these pieces good from Faction Wars and from Doom Tower? Because you go in the Forge and you go find the team that you actually. I just did this, so unfortunately I won't have a lot. Where are we? What did I use? I used Fatal because I farmed that one a lot. I actually blew through all of my pieces, but you go in here. Let's see. Do I have one that I can do 10? No. Do I have a 10 spot? Nope, I do not. We have Guardian. Guardian might work. Let's see. Do I have enough? Here we go. Whatever. We can do this. So let's just say this is what you've got. I forgot that I farmed this a lot. So you go in here and you go like this. Craft 10. No charms, no nothing. And you do this, and all this is crap. I'm never going to use any of this gear. So you just go like this. There's 16,000. There's 7,000. There's another 10K, basically. 16,000. Are you starting to see that why we're doing this? And why you need to farm Faction Wars? And why you need to farm Doom Tower? Because these are all garbage pieces of gear that I'm not using anymore. In the beginning, you might save your 4-star and just sell your 3-star. But right now, where I'm at, yeah, you just sell them all. So you would just do this and keep your 4-star pieces, and then you do it again. See, now we're at 459,000. Let's do it again, because I don't like this stuff anyway. I'm going to get rid of it all, because I should be doing this regardless. Oh, look, a 3-star, $17,000. All right. So this, especially if you're doing it every day and not paying attention to it, say there's a clan versus clan, that's the best time to do this because you're going to get clan versus clan points, and you can get silver to upgrade artifacts, which will also get you clan versus clan points. Fun stuff, right? So I would do this all in conjunction. So now we just got we had 460,000, right? So we got another 110 or 120,000 silver just from doing those two. All right. Now saving these up, I have Defiant, which I can do. Say we're not going to be using those too much. We're going to be getting this from the Forge Pass. I could actually do one more run of this, I think. Yeah, I can do one more run without screwing up my 6-star stuff. So here I would do the same thing. We can craft 10 here. Now some of these I might keep because I don't have a lot of Defiant. So I might save my 5-star pieces. But even this stuff, I'd be like, this is a 4-star piece, sell. I don't even care what the stat is. I just sell it. I literally don't care what the stat is on 4 stars. This is what you would do with 4 and 3 stars in the beginning. All right. I don't care about 4 stars. Just sell it. Don't even look at it. Don't pretend that it's good. I don't care what it is. It's garbage. All right. So now this has defense, which is good. This is a good 5-piece. It's got speed. I wish this attack was defense, but hey, I'll keep it. 4-star, we don't look at it. And then what's this? This is crit damage. I can take that. This could work out. We'll see. We'll keep it. So we got 3 pieces of gear out of this. And we got another 100K. See? Collect. We're done. Now I'm going to save this for when we get the legendary pieces so I don't want to waste them. And for the legendary stuff, yeah, I would use my charms. All right. But this is how you get extra silver. I mean, look, we just jumped up like almost 400K, right? And we didn't really do much except press a button and sell. All right. We didn't waste any energy. We didn't do anything. The other thing you can do, which is what I'm doing currently, is when you should be farming stuff. So we go into our Minotaur and we farm our masteries. If you're farming masteries and farming the campaign nonstop for masteries for your heroes and for leveling up your next 6-star. If that's what you're doing, which is really all you should be doing for the first 6 months, if I'm being completely honest, you shouldn't be wasting any energy on farming a lot of gear unless it's a quest. You should be able to get more than enough gear just from doing the quests and your normal daily grind, where you can gear out your heroes to get your team started. All right. I'm sure you're going to get a crit glove. I'm sure you're going to get a speed boot somewhere along the line that you can use and equip on your heroes. All right. Don't think that you have to farm to get the best gear set in order to complete the game. When you're starting, that's the worst thing you can do because you're just going to be nonstop farming gear and you're just going to have no level 60s. All your heroes are going to be level 50. They're going to get creamed. So 6-star, 6-star ascension, all the gear. And then you just fill in your holes. That's the only time I used to farm gear was when I was trying to fill in a hole. If I didn't have a banner for Kale, then I farmed a banner for Kale until I got one. That's basically the only time that I really farmed. And usually when you're doing that, you end up getting a piece that for somebody else. That's honestly what usually happens. And then doing this, you're going to get silver from this, which, you know what's funny? You don't get a ton of silver from doing masteries, but it is surprisingly enough. It's surprisingly high enough where you're going to be like farming one mastery for one hero, getting from 0 to all full masteries. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, I have an extra like million or two silver. And you're going to be like, where did that come from? It adds up, especially in masteries when you're doing this as much as I do it for each hero. I mean, remember, all of my heroes have masteries maxed because that's all I do is I farm this and I farm campaign. That's what I do with my time. And then if I'm not doing that, I'm doing progression or trying to figure something out. The only time you should be farming gear, like I said, is if you need a specific piece. That's it. If you need an attack chest in an area that, for some hero that's missing it. But yeah, you'll get tons of silver just from doing these few things. And not wasting your silver on bad gear will make it so you don't spend your silver when you don't need to. The other thing that I would recommend is trying to do them in conjunction with the missions. Don't be like me. Say, look, we got 7,500 basically from doing this one time. Okay? So that means if I do this 10 times, I made 75K. You will obviously have to do this more than 10 times. If you've ever farmed masteries before, you're going to do it a lot more than 10 times. Let's just say you do it 100 times. That's 750K. See what I mean? So you do this enough times, you're going to get some silver from it, which is nice. And you'll get your heroes mastered out, which is like a double win. All right? So, silver. Main things. Don't waste money on garbage you don't need. Make sure that you have the right gear when you get to like mid-game. Make sure you're putting the right gear on heroes to level it. All right? Don't just level garbage. Just sell it off. The world's not going to end if your hero doesn't have one perfect piece of gear. It'll happen. You'll get a piece that'll match. All of my heroes are built specifically the way I sort of want them. I'm sure there's like a few heroes where there's stats that I could, remove, but otherwise they're all 16 because I focused. That's the other thing that could probably save you some silver is not focusing on too many heroes at once. Your next 6-star should be your main focus almost all the time, especially until you start getting a little further into mid-game. The next hero should be your focus because you're going to need heroes to beat all of the content in the game. You can't do it with 5 heroes. There's faction wars, there's Hydra, there's clan boss, there's dungeons, there's hard dungeons, there's the sleep guy for ascending artifacts. There's so many things in this game where you're going to need different heroes to get through it, that your next 6-star should be your focus in the beginning. I personally have 33 level 60s, all level 16 gear. All right. And they all have masteries except for 3, which are the ones that I'm working on now. And that's where I'm going to get some silver from right now is by just farming that right after this video. I'm going to go in and just farm up Galek with the rest of the energy that I have left. And that'll be it. Use your forge. Make sure you're using that. Try not to waste too much silver in the tavern by throwing heroes and stuff into people unless you have extra silver. That could spend a lot of money. Like if I use all these potions and stuff on a hero, that adds up. Let's see, what does it cost? For 3 potions. Max. Say 21. Try not to do this unless there's a quest or something that you need to level something fast or a new hero. Try not to use this too much. You should be just leveling in campaign and getting them built up. But I do this a lot because especially when I have a lot of silver, I'll do stuff like this. But just know that you shouldn't do it unless there's an event. That way you can get the points for it when it matters. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, silver is. Oh yeah, here I'll just show it while we're here. Why not? So you could conceivably go in here and farm state spider at the highest level you're possible. I know that this is one of the stages that most people like. So yeah, you could go in here and just farm this if you have a decent team. I would just bring. I shouldn't have brought this team in. This is my stage 20 team. I have a farm team for this that does it. I think they've done it in like 35 seconds on stage 10. Just bring in a bunch of AoE specialists that can rock the ads and kill the spider fast. I bring in like Elhain, Aethel, Dark Aethel, Dark Elhain, Kale, I think War Maiden, and then I think Apothecary or no, Spirit Host, just because she can up the attack of everybody, and then we just kill the boss in like 35 seconds. So this is my stage 20 team. They're not as efficient at killing fast. They're supposed to be set up for HP burn. So unfortunately, they're going to take a little bit longer to do this. I probably should have switched it out. But you'll see after the fight in my best time. And I'll use them, and then I'll just sell any of the garbage here if I don't need it. Like if I get a bunch of accessories, you can sell that off. And that's another way to make silver if you want to get accessories in the beginning of the game. Because stage 10 is fairly easy to beat and manage once you start getting into like, brutal and doing some dungeons and getting some reasonable gear on some heroes. But yeah, this is a slow ass fight. See, this is why we don't do this with my stage 20 team. This is not a good farm team. I figured I'd end the video with this because it's annoying and funny all at the same time. All right, so the main takeaway from this is don't just willy-nilly start leveling up gear. Do not level 16 any 3-star gear, really. I don't think there's any 3-star gear that I got to 16 unless it was for like a quest where they said get something to 16. You get more than enough gear in the beginning. The 3-star sets that you get in the beginning of the game, those I would say just get them to 12. That's about as far as you really want to bring them unless you have to, or if you're struggling. I wouldn't go further. I would wait until you start getting 4-star gear to start 16 on everything. Possibly Kale, but you get the lifesteal on the first week, so that's a 4-star set. I would just do that to 16. That should be your first set that you get to 16. It's probably the most important too because it's on Kale, and he's the one that's going to get you through your stuff. But yeah, just don't waste it on things. And then see if this is something you don't want, which I don't care right now. There you go. You just made 37K for doing that one fight, and you got this, so you made another 40. So $40,000 for. Here we go. 12 energy. All right. So this could be a really good way to make silver as well. All right. Just farm stage 10 over and over, and every 12 energy, you're going to, as long as you get gear, you'll make somewhere between 40 and possibly 50K silver. So this is why I think a lot of people will also farm this, especially if you're in need of accessories. But I'm in need of experience, so that's why I'm doing the campaign. Either one works. You can do whatever you want, whatever you need. Just farm the thing you need and then sell off any of the crap you don't. And there you go. You'll make some silver. All right. So get out of there. All right. I'm gonna leave it on Visix because I just like that. I have her now. So yeah, that was a small mystery shard flex. So basically, don't waste money. Don't waste your silver on things you don't need to waste it on. Farm campaign, farm accessories, farm masteries, and don't waste your silver on things that don't level correctly, and don't waste it on something just because you think it might be good. The rolls are what matters. If you only get one roll in something you need, or you get no rolls in the stat you need, then that gear usually becomes useless. It's you'll start to figure it out the further along you get. But I mean, in the beginning, you're going to use whatever gear you have, so this doesn't matter. But definitely, once you're at least a few months in, you're going to want to start conserving your silver and only using it when it matters and on your next hero to get it to 16 on all their gear. All right. So hopefully this helps. If you guys have any other silver making kind of things that you want to talk about, feel free to leave them in the comments. Once again, the only reason that I'm growing as a channel is because of you guys. So feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment. All these things help my growth and help me to make more content for you guys and get the stuff out for you, and then maybe play some other games also. And, we'll have some fun. All right. So This is the silver management video. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.